You're listening to Bodify Insider from Bodify Functional Fitness.
3, 2, 1. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos al podcast Bodify Insider, episodio creo que 18. Y que ya tenemos rato que no grabábamos podcast. Pete Sainz, bienvenido al podcast.
Thank you very much. We talking a little Spartan today?
Sí, tenemos mucha información en cuanto a Spartan. Estamos muy emocionados por el programa nuevo. Tenemos muchas cosas nuevas cada año. Tratamos de agregarle cosas para beneficio de todas las personas que están haciendo el programa y que también como cada año, ¿no? Digo, tenemos ya ¿cuántos años haciendo esto? Desde 2018. 17, ok, más o menos. Yeah. Entonces, échenle ustedes para acá, del 2017 a la fecha, pues cada año mejoramos este programa y sigue mejorando, y parte de eso es lo que vamos a platicar el día de hoy. Además, tenemos Spartan Story también.
Yeah.
Pete nos va a presumir y no te trajiste la medalla. Ya vi que está por allá, ahorita la agarramos.
Yes.
Pero nos va a platicar también su experiencia en el Ultra World Championship allá en Morzine.
Yes.
Le France.
Yeah, man. Yeah, lots of fun. So yeah, I'll give the lowdown on my race there in France.
Pero bien, antes de arrancar, también quiero aprovechar este espacio, como siempre, montándome y aprovechando el espacio para agradecer también a todas las personas que ya se inscribieron a nuestro evento de Deca Strong, que va a ser el próximo 17 de agosto. Evento sold out.
Yeah.
7 semanas antes del evento, totalmente sold out desde que pusimos la fecha afuera. Fue impresionante la respuesta y estamos más bien enormemente agradecidos con toda la comunidad, con nuestros miembros y con toda la comunidad de diferentes gyms como Triumph, también gente de Evolve, también por ahí F45 también se está acercando.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They're new to the game.
Sí, y faltan más, pero no los veo que se animen todavía. Espero que
hopefully
en el siguiente se animen, pero
let's grow this thing, man.
Así es, así vamos a pasarla bastante bien. Pero bueno, eso el día de hoy toca hablar de Spartan. Programa 12 semanas. El objetivo, mi estimado Pedro, tenemos la carrera de Dallas.
Yes, we got Dallas, and Dallas has all 4 races, man. So whatever your heart desires, we'll get you ready for. They got the sprint, which is the 3.1, the 5K. We got the super, which is the 10K, which is 6.2 miles. We got the beast, which is the half marathon. Distance 13.1, and then we got the ultra.
Paréntesis. Ahora, como dice Pedro, aquí todas estas carreras van a estar disponibles en el evento de Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
La recomendación es no vayan a hacer nada más un sprint hasta Dallas. ¿Okay?
Exactly.
Obviamente, si ustedes dicen, no, es que voy comenzando, va a ser mi primera. Si va a ser tu primera, mínimo te recomiendo que hagas el super, que es el 10K.
Right.
Ok, para que perdido te avientes 2 horas ahí divirtiéndote. Ok, un sprint te va a durar 1 hora y pues ni lo que hiciste es en viajar, ¿no?
Exactly.
Entonces,
take advantage.
Obviamente también el Beast sería un gran challenge y créanme, nosotros cuando comenzamos a hacer carreras y que no sabíamos que, así como ustedes, que a lo mejor es nuestra primera, bla, 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 hacíamos los Tough Mudders y eso eran 10 a 11, 12 millas, ¿no?
Yeah, it was like a little over 10.
Como 10, 11, 12 millas. Y entonces es algo que sí, a lo mejor vas a durar 5 o 6 horas ahí en el course, pero es una gran experiencia y un gran comienzo también podría ser. Y definitivamente este programa los puede llevar a que inicien al menos en el Beast y no tan solo en el Sprint o el Super, que bueno, la propuesta está ahí. No estamos diciendo que no lo hagan. Si ustedes quieren ir por un sprint hasta allá, por 7 horas manejando y hacer un sprint que va a durar 45 minutos, 1 hora, allá ustedes.
Absolutely.
Pero bien, esa es la recomendación, el pequeño paréntesis que quiere hacer. Pero también este año nos emociona mucho, Pete, que tenemos ultras.
Yes. We finally got them, Chuy.
Híjole. La verdad, honestamente... O sea, sabía que llegaría el día que habría miembros que se animarían, pero jamás imaginé esta respuesta de todos nuestros miembros y gente que también se está uniendo a esta carrera de Dallas y específicamente para la carrera de Ultra.
Yeah, man. It's we have like over 20 people signed up for the Ultra and more on the table. Like they're possibly could get close to 30 people doing the ultra with us, which is amazing. I mean, that's you know, we love that. All Spartan races are great, you know, but there's something about the ultra that the fact that the distance and what you go through, and 30 miles is 30 miles. So it's special, man. It takes you to a special place. So I'm so excited to get this many people excited about it and training for it. And man, it's just, it blew me away when everybody got excited about it.
Y definitivamente las mejores historias que hemos compartido en este podcast han sido de ultras.
Yes.
De ultras en diferentes partes. También en Dallas. Dallas es un venue que, o sea, es que no quiero decir que es fácil.
No.
Porque cada carrera va a ser distinta. Mucha gente me dice, ¿cuál es la carrera más difícil que has hecho? Todas son distintas. Obviamente Vermont es un monstruo.
Right.
Pero más adelante hablaremos de otro monstruo, que es Morcine, que fue donde fue Pete. Pero Dallas ha sido una carrera a lo largo de los años muy divertida. ¿Por qué? Porque nos ha presentado no solamente distintos ranchos, distintos escenarios, sino también el clima.
Yes. You never know what you're going to get.
Exactamente. Es como una caja de chocolates, ¿no? Como dice
Absolutely. El Forrest Gump. The coldest race I think I've ever done is in Dallas. And we've been to Iceland, you know, and Dallas was colder one year. Some of the hottest ones we've ever done is in Dallas. The wettest ones we've been in Dallas.
Con lluvia, con lodo.
Yes.
Millas y millas y millas y millas de lodo.
Just slipping and sliding that one year.
Sí, entonces nunca se sabe qué es lo que Dallas te va a tener preparado. Y bueno, es como que literal una ruleta. Pero lo que sí les vamos a recomendar dentro de este programa es vayan preparados para todo.
Exactly.
Okay.
You never know what you're going to get.
Sí, llévenselo de frío también, llévenselo de calor, llévense en todo.
Yes. Yeah, no, Dallas it's a great venue because there's no mountains, you know, so it's very straightforward. It's always beautiful Texas, you know, a little bit of hill country in there, a little bit of water. It's just a pretty race, you know. It's fast, you know, so you're not out there all day. You know, if you're a good runner, you can get it done pretty quick. If this is your first one, this is the one you probably want to go to get your feet wet and to get the experience.
Sí, justamente lo que le he comentado a mucha gente que de repente si quieren aventar su primer ultra, este es.
Yes.
¿Ok? De hecho, también es uno de los ultras que viene mucha gente de todo Estados Unidos. No solamente por el barbecue, sino también porque la carrera está buena. Es una medalla distinta también.
Yeah.
Es un Honor Series.
Right.
Entonces va a ser una medalla distinta, mucho más cool también de los ultra, que es también parte de lo que me emociona. Yo en lo personal quería hacer la Trifecta Weekend, pero vi la medalla y dije, al carajo la Trifecta Weekend. Yo quiero ese belt buckle.
It's a cool buckle, man.
Lo voy a poner en pantalla también para que lo vean. Pero bien, nos emociona todo esto que viene. Nuestros miembros ya están prácticamente en entrenamiento. Muchos de ellos ya comenzaron un programa de 17 semanas, ¿no? Que hicimos.
Yeah, 16 weeks. They're on week 4 you know, of that running program already. And I'll say this. This is the year that you want to do it. Because look, everybody's getting excited about it. You'll train with a bunch of people with the same goal in mind. You know, it's not like you're going on a solo mission. You know, it's not 1 or 2 people. It's 20, 30 people with the same goal in mind that are beginners too, just like you. So we all learn together, and it's going to be an experience. I mean, part of the fun of an ultra is training for an ultra. You know, training together. You know, suffering together, putting in those early morning runs together, hitting the trails together. It's if you've ever thought about it, you really, really want to get on it this year. You know,
son 12 semanas que va a ser un proceso de entrenamiento del cual les va a encantar. Es muy divertido. Sí, ahí obviamente el trabajo que se pone uno en la corrida y todo eso. O sea, el sufrimiento, ¿no? Por así llamarlo de una manera.
Right.
Pero es algo que tienes que llegar a aceptar, to embrace, ¿no?
Embrace it.
Y básicamente enamorarte de todo ese proceso, de todo ese entrenamiento. Y luego al final, o sea, es...
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like it.
La cherry on top of the pie, de cuenta, ¿no?
Yes. The race, I mean, the race is just pure fun. You know, it's grueling and it's rough and it's tough and it'll test you mentally, physically. But when you're done, I mean, there's no way to explain it. You just have to experience it. And I tell all the members that have signed up for it, all the members that are thinking about it, is you have to do one. You have to do one so you know what I'm talking about, to understand that level of achievement that you feel when you cross that finish line. Whether it's Vermont, Morzine, Dallas, 30 miles is 30 miles.
Exacto. Y vamos comenzando por el programa, ¿no? O sea, ¿qué es lo que, para la gente que tal vez nunca ha escuchado qué es lo que hacemos? O sea, ¿en qué consiste este programa de 12 semanas? ¿Qué es lo que usualmente van a ver? ¿Qué es lo que incluye las primeras semanas? ¿Qué es lo que incluye la mitad del programa? Y luego, pues, la parte última, ¿no? O sea, son 12 semanas y cómo lo estructuramos.
Right. So, we got 12 weeks to work with. And the way we break it up is there's a strength aspect to it. You know, the first part you'll get a warm-up in. You know, it's a 2-hour class. So the first part, you know, where we warm you up, then we work on your strength. For the first 4 weeks, we're really building up that strength on the strength that you're going to need to get into all the obstacles, you know, because there is a level of strength that you need. You need to be able to do monkey bars and get over walls. So there is a level of strength that you don't want to fail everything. I mean, that's not the point. That's what we're here for. We're here so you can do every obstacle. So there's a strength building part of it.
Sobre todo para las personas que tal vez sí están haciendo ejercicio, pero sí están haciendo nada más puro movimiento en un gimnasio, isolate movements.
Right.
O sea, este tipo de workouts les va a comenzar a dar, también ejercitar, pero de otra manera sus fibras musculares para movimientos más explosivos, ¿no? Para comenzar también a preparar sus brazos y todo, que puedan estar colgados, estirados, de una manera segura y en la que ustedes también no se vayan a lastimar, ¿no?
Absolutely. Yeah, you need to it's functional strength, you know, that we're going to work on. It's running when you're tired. It's you know, it's a lifting different type. It's lifting heavy things when you're tired, you know, and then running right after you lifted those heavy things. And it's very different, you know, and it's very distinct. And so we really, really get into that, you know, and Tony's got a real good system in place, and he takes over that first part of the workout. And then we get into technical skills. We have a whole obstacle course here in the back of the building, here on the McPherson location. So we start teaching technique and different tips on how to get through. I think we have about 18 obstacles here. And we've built them from scratch. So we teach that, and that's, you know, the middle part of the workout. And then we do a Spartan WOD there at the end, and we include, you know, running, obstacles, and it just transitions and changes every week. Now, that's the first 4 weeks, okay? And then as we go through the weeks, the first part, the strength, you know, we start tapering that off and start getting more into the technical skills. You know, so that middle part, you're going to see more technical work, and the Spartan WOD at the end gets a little bit longer because we're working on endurance and strength and endurance. And then we transition it in those last 4 weeks, where it's really just a lot of race prep. You know, that Spartan WOD is almost 2 hours long. So you're really building up that endurance and that strength. Because, yeah, you might be able to do 10 pull-ups, but can you do 10 pull-ups after you've run a couple miles and after you lifted a couple things? You know, and that's what this program is really what we've learned through the years. Like he said, we've been doing it since 17, 18. We've learned a lot, you know, trial and error, and what's worked for our members and where we still see that they needed to improve. And I think last year we finally like hit it perfect, you know, when we transitioned to this type of how we structure the program. So this year has worked great. I mean, we've had a couple races already. You know, we did Houston, we did Austin, but those are much shorter races. So that's why on this one, we gave them those extra 4 weeks of a running program. We are going 12 weeks And we're actually doing something different this year, which is the Spartan Edge, which we'll get into in a little bit, which is, getting everybody on a Zoom or a Google Meet. And every couple of weeks we're doing a little Q&A and getting everybody informed.
Así que para que sepan, o sea, obviamente está la parte del entrenamiento, las 12 semanas es algo progresivo. Entonces, como dice Pete, a lo mejor ahorita ustedes escuchan un workout de 2 horas. Nah, o sea, yo no puedo hacer eso. Tal vez ahorita se escuche de que imposible o muy difícil, pero llega un momento en el cual, o sea, mientras, como le digo a la gente de Deck, mientras tú seas constante y te mantengas en el proceso y hagas tus entrenamientos, eso solito va a llegar. O sea, ya para cuando menos lo sepas, o sea, tú ya estás haciendo esas cosas impresionantes, y poco a poco los vamos a llevar hacia ese punto. Y por eso es un programa de 12 semanas y no 8, como platica Pete, y la carrera de Austin, la carrera de San Antonio, todas esas carreras que son un poquito más cortas. Bueno, este es el programa que ya sea para que ustedes hagan el Trifecta Weekend, que son las 3 carreras, que serán como 16 millas, no. How about, no, 20.
It's 13 plus 6 plus 3. So, come on, do your math.
No, a ver, tú contador.
21, 22 miles.
Ok, 21, 22 miles. O sea, como quiera es una distancia.
Yeah.
Si ustedes quieren hacer el Trifecta Weekend. Y si obviamente quieren hacer el programa de Ultra, pues también estamos haciendo todo esto, ¿no? O sea, los vamos a llevar poco a poco. Técnica de obstáculos, les vamos a enseñar cómo hacer cada uno de los obstáculos. Y dentro de todo eso, está ahora esto, como mencionamos, el Spartan Edge.
Yeah, the Spartan Edge, which I'm excited about. I mean, I'm glad we're doing it because we always get a bunch of questions, right after class. Everybody's tired, but some people take off and they don't hear the question. And, I think it's going to get that way. Everybody's getting informed at the same time. And we got themes for it. It's a 30, 45 minute Zoom or Google Meet.
La primerita va a ser este weekend, ¿verdad?
Here, yeah. It's this Saturday. At what time?
A las 10 de la mañana.
Yeah, 10 a.m. So we train from 7 to 9. And then at 10, we're going to get on a Google Meet. And we'll be there for about 30, 45 minutes to answer any questions. And really, on this first one, get into gear. We got people buying a million shoes and socks. And, part of what we learned, throughout the years, we've been doing this for 10 plus years already now, is what to buy, what not to buy, what to spend your money on, what to save your money on.
Sí.
And we can help out a lot in that department. And so we always get these questions. So we kind of want to just pick a date, which is this Saturday, and get into any gear question that you guys might have.
¿Y qué vamos a hablar? Por ejemplo, tenis.
Yes.
Calcetines también, que es súper importante, porque vas a traer las horas. Tal vez productos para que no te vayas a rozar. Anti-shape.
Yeah, exactly.
Productos, nutrición.
Nutrition.
Que es parte de...
All the products that we use, yeah.
Y es en la primera semana porque queremos que ustedes también comiencen a... Si van a comprar, que comiencen a utilizarlos para que vean que uno, vayan aflojando los tenis. 2, para que vayan probando la nutrición como durante el entrenamiento. O sea, todas estas cosas que son importantes para el día final, básicamente el mero día de la carrera, que ustedes sepan en qué milla les da sed, en qué milla les da hambre y todo, cómo su cuerpo básicamente les va a estar pidiendo pues seguir manteniendo energía, ¿no? Y otra de las cosas también, como dice Pete, hemos comprado tantas cosas, y hemos visto también gente que se agarra comprando tenis, y queremos simplemente guiarlos de la mejor manera, en el sentido de que de repente hacer una oferta en Running Best y compran uno y la verdad a veces no es exactamente el que necesitaban. Digo, les va a funcionar,
Right.
pero hay unos que a lo mejor por el mismo precio o era el otro, que también son cosas que las que vamos a hablar, y el por qué buscar cierto tipo de vest, y son cosas que nosotros mismos lo hemos vivido en la carrera, como que traes un vest y de que todas las bolsas están atrás, entonces estás como cucaracha en el piso tratando de agarrarte algo de atrás, ¿no? Entonces hay cosas que hay que tomar en cuenta y que pues a lo largo del tiempo, mira, esta bolsita, aquí lo tengo todo, facilito. Entonces todas esas cosas son las que vamos a platicar en cuanto a gear, mucho más. Bueno, y por ejemplo, eso va a ser también con todas las personas que ya son parte del programa. Van a tener exclusiva estas videollamadas.
Right.
Y como dice Pete, ahí van a poder hacer la cantidad de preguntas que tenga, ¿ok?
Exacto.
No hay pregunta tonta. Ustedes, así sea de hasta like shoelaces, lo que sea, vamos a platicarlo
Right.
todo ahí.
So we start with the gear because that's something you need to get so you can start training it like Chewy said. So we're going to have one on the 27th, which is this Saturday. Then we're going to have one the next week, which is August 3rd. We're going to have one the week after that, August 10th.
Sí.
And then 2 weeks later, on the 24th of August, we'll do another one. September 7th, we'll do another one. And then the last 2 weeks of the program, we really get into what race week should look like and last minute kind of details and tips, what race day should be like or the day before race. Just so, we know you're going to be nervous. You don't forget anything. You got your checklists in.
Sobre todo porque
doing good.
En el formato de Ultra, como son 2 vueltas, está la llegada hacia el bin drop, ¿no?
Right.
Entonces, vamos a platicarles acerca de los cut-off times.
Yeah.
O sea, que tengan en mente que tienen que estar a cierto punto de la carrera, a cierta distancia, para cierta hora, donde no pierdan tiempo, donde pueden invertir tiempo en comer, todas estas cosas. O sea, cuánto tiempo deben de estar en el transition area, cuánto no deben de estar. Todo eso lo vamos a platicar, que son cosas que también los va a ayudar muchísimo en la carrera, porque lo vemos hasta la fecha, ¿no? Siempre vemos ultras nuevos que no saben para dónde, ni qué o hay gente que ni siquiera sabe que había un bin drop
Yeah.
y que llegaron simplemente con su mochila y ya, o sea, no iban preparados para qué, cómo que hay otra vuelta o cómo que hay un lugar de transición. Entonces, todas esas cosas, pues las vamos a estar platicando ahí, ¿no?
Yeah. I mean, so we got plenty of weekends, so sign up for the program as soon as you can. That way you get informed and you don't miss any of those. Like we said, the program starts this Saturday, which is July 27th at 7 a.m. It's a 12-week program, and race day is October 19th. All right, they're in Dallas. A couple other things. We like to go out at least once a month for trail runs. So we know you got the running program. So on August 10th and September 7th and October 5th, you guys, we're going to be doing our runs there at the trails. So those are Sundays. Sunday runs. Every Saturday we have our classes, our Spartan classes. But on those Sundays, we'll be there at the trails. So, I'm super pumped. I'm excited as hell to get so many people getting ready for the Ultra. You guys that are on the fence, you're still thinking about it, this is the year. Get it done. Sign up.
Emocionado también. Me quedé viajando en que el tiempo se ha ido volando. O sea, y precisamente porque eso es lo que ahorita lo que vamos y porque pues a principios del año, el año pasado, me acuerdo que fue cuando me platicaste de Morcine, France.
Uf. Yes.
Entonces me quedé porque pues esto ya pasó. O sea, fue hace 2 semanas. Y digo, también ahorita me quedé pensando en Killington, Vermont. El próximo septiembre vamos a estar por allá. Y luego vamos a Dallas. Eso 2 semanas después, ¿no?
No, it's like a month.
A month.
It's a month, yeah.
Ya ves, it's a month, bro. It's a month.
This guy's trying to kill me. 2 of the hardest races in the world, back to back.
Y bueno, ahí ya le estaremos platicando otra historia.
Yeah.
Y esperemos sea la última. de Spartan Stories de Vermont. Pero bueno.
Yes, Vermont's coming up. When is it? September
13th.
September 13th. So we'll be there. Me, Chewy, and Kike. Kike, I think, is doing the beast. And me and this guy are we're gonna conquer the Ultra.
Yes,
what number is this, Chewy?
This is my 5th attempt. Este es mi 5º intento de terminar.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen.
Luego tendré que hacer un podcast de la recapitulación de las... Ya que regrese, hago la recapitulación de las 5.
There you go. Well, I mean, for those that haven't heard our old podcast or something, Vermont is by far the hardest race in the United States. Now, there's another race. Last year, I did pretty well in Dallas, and I qualified for the World Championship in Morzine, France, which is in the Alps. in France. And I've always wanted to do it. It's been on my bucket list since 2018 because it's the hardest race in Europe. You know, it's the Killington, Vermont of Europe. It's a huge mountain, very Colorado-ish, if I had to compare. So there's altitude that you have to deal with. And you see pictures of it and it's gorgeous and it's beautiful. Well, this year, 2024, with the World Championship was going to be there. And since I had qualified, I told Gabby, I got to do it. This is the year that I got to do it. We'll make a little vacation out of it. I'm going to go, I'm going to race, and then we'll just do the vacay after. So, let me tell you the story. It's, again, mountain races are just so, there's no room for error in a mountain race. It tests you completely. So anyways, my race is on Friday morning at 7 a.m.
Te fuiste de aquí Wednesday, ¿no?
We left on Wednesday afternoon, and we flew and throughout the night, like you do when you go to Europe, and you end
From where?
We flew from San Antonio to Washington, D.C., and then Washington, D.C. to Geneva, Switzerland, which is real close to Morzine, France, about an hour drive. So, like I said, we got there Thursday morning around 9, 10 a.m. So you flew throughout the night. I can't sleep when I travel. So as much as I tried, I couldn't really sleep. Maybe got a few hours of sleep. So anyways, check-in is later on that day, and then the race is the next day. So I got there, checked in, got to the grocery store, and by the time all of that is done, it's like almost 8 p.m., and I got to wake up at, 5 a.m. Or 4, really to be ready for the race. So anyways.
4 a.m. time, Morzine.
Yeah, Morzine time, which is 7 hours later than Laredo time. So that's another thing that was that I had to deal with. I'm not gonna make excuses. I finished the race, okay, but it was one of the toughest, hardest races of my life for multiple reasons. It was just everything that could go wrong went wrong. And it was just a reminder of how much I love this sport for many, many reasons. It was so difficult. I come back to it. I had the travel the day before, and I don't want to make excuses. They're not excuses. I'm just painting the picture for you. Is the time difference? I was starting at 7 a.m. over there, which is midnight the day before in Laredo time. So I'm starting a race at midnight without much sleep. So I wake up that morning anyways, and I'm okay. I didn't sleep much, but I'm going to make the best of it. And whenever I go to a race, I've had some luck here lately, and my confidence level is very high. I always think I got a shot, to win. I know it's a mountain race, and mountain races are hard for people that live in Laredo. It's difficult to mimic a mountain.
La Loma del Casablanca no es suficiente.
Yeah, it's tough to mimic a mountain. So I know it's going to be a difficult race for me. I do really well when it's flat, like Dallas, that type of race. I can hold my own.
Heat.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's a mountain race. So I wake up, and I'm already feeling like, God, I haven't slept. I'm already putting excuses in my head. Like, man, I don't feel right. But hey, here we go. Like I said, like I had just gotten a podium to my race before, so I'm like, man, I got this. I'm going to go for it. Ni modo. It is what it is. So my confidence level was there. And boom, 7 a.m., 7:30 actually, I think by the time we started. And I go, and man, I'm going, and it's all flat for the first couple of miles. You're running through the town. It's beautiful. There's about 1,200 racers out there. So we go first 3 miles. I'm good. And then we start our climb. And our climb, I shit you not, was from mile 4 to mile almost 17. It was just straight up, straight up. You know, so now the miles are taking long. You know, my first mile was 8.5 minutes with a couple obstacles in there. So I'm moving fast. And then it's like 45 minutes for a mile, you know, it's like, because it's you're climbing at, you know, if you're on a treadmill, most treadmills go up to 15% incline, you know, percentage. This thing was like 40%, you know, incline. So it's slow going. You know, and then they put you in some lakes, and it's snow melt that made those lakes, so they're cold, you know, and it's one climb after the other. Okay, so that just takes time, and that's just wow. I mean, just a lot of miles just climbing, and then at mile 12. You know, I've been having some IT band issues on my knee, and that started flaring up. And I'm like, Jesus, man, what else can go wrong? It started getting hot, and you know, I'm just now it starts screwing with your head. And I know better, you know, but you're in the moment, and just to be honest with you guys, it got to me. You know, you stop focusing on my nutrition, which in an ultra is everything.
Yeah.
You know, your nutrition is everything. So I stopped paying attention and stopped taking in enough calories because you're going so slow that I took my usual stuff, but I ran out, man, because you're going so slow that, you know, every hour you need a certain amount of calories that, you know, the last 3 miles of my first lap, I didn't have anything left, you know. It's not like the United States where there's water stations everywhere. There was, you know, 11 water stations for the whole, you know, 22 miles, you know, so it was every other mile. And then, you know, it took you a while to finish that. So if you ran out of water, you're screwed. So anyways.
Y también, paréntesis, no puedes tampoco cargar mucha agua porque
it's heavy.
Vamos hacia arriba. Entonces, es como aumentarte 1, 2 libras más de peso. Entonces, tienes que medir también, ok, tantita de aquí y lo que llego a la que sigue. Y pues ahí te vas midiendo, ¿no?
Exactly. So, you know, it's, I had never done that race before. I had like figured it's going to be kind of like Killington. No, man. It's, the climbs are just much longer than anything I've ever experienced. So anyways, and usually, you know, you see the beautiful mountains and like they never take you to the top. They never take you to the puntito, you know, of the mountain. We went to the puntito, and I'm not kidding. Like there was maybe the width of this table, and then it was a drop on one side and a drop on the other side, and they call it sky running. And the guy the day before, when he was telling us the rules, told us you're gonna do some sky running. You know, I've never done that before in my life, to where you're running on the ridge of a mountain, and it's beautiful and it's crazy. And I got some pictures, maybe Chewy can put them here, of what that looks like, and it's gorgeous, man. But you know, the thing about mountain races is you're slow on the way up, but man, you can make up time on the way down. You know, you have to. You know, that's the only way you're gonna get your time down, is you gotta tear it down the mountain, which is fine if your knee holds up, but my knee was giving me problems. So man, that made me slow on the way down too. So I was slow on the way up on the climb like everybody else, but on the way down, when I was trying to make up time, my left knee just kept on, you know, just giving me issues. So it really slowed me down a bunch. So, you know, that first lap, you know, I think we had to be in by 5 p.m. out of the transition area, which is, you know, and that first lap, since they took us to the top of the mountain, was 22 miles. You know, usually it's about 17, you know, at most races, your first lap is about 17. And then your second one is about, you know, 15. You know, this one was 22 and 12 and a half. Ended up being like almost 35 miles, you know, 34 if I look at my Garmin, 34 and a half, something like that miles, the whole race. So like I said, I ran out of food. I ran out of calories for those last couple miles. So yeah, I was losing energy. I was in a bad mood. I wasn't focused. what was on my race. I've been doing this enough years to where, I'm confident in the way I race, and it just took me out. I let it get me out of my comfort zone, and my confidence left. By mile 12, 13, 14, I went from competitive mode to survival mode, to where I'm just like, I need a...
What mile was that?
I would say probably 14 is when I really started to worry. Mile 14.
14.
And so I had 20 miles left, to go when my knee was bothering me. It was in my head. So I had 20 miles of, negative thoughts, like the things that were popping into my head. And again, I'm a very confident racer. And these things were like, man, I'm not going to make it. How am I going to finish? Like, I'm getting, like, I start doing the math.
Exacto.
I start doing the math in my head, and I'm a math guy. So I'm like, man, I'm cutting it close, at the pace that I'm going. And I haven't felt that since our first couple of races when we first started, I've never struggled this much. So the struggle is real. I'm like, I might not make it. And then, I have all the Bodify members, like I feel you guys, like the pressure, because I want to set an example for you guys, and I want to be, your coach and do these things. And I take pride in it, and I take it serious. And you're in my head, it's like, man, I can't let them down. You got to keep moving. Screw your knee, just make it happen. Just go. So, you have your negative thoughts and the demons and you're just dark for a while. And then snap out of it, get out of it. You're going to make it. And then I see Gabby ran, it was very spectator friendly, the race. So part of it was in the city. So she found me. She's about 3 miles from the transition area. So she kind of hung out with me for 3 miles there at the end, and picked up my spirits. And I mean, I'm not gonna bitch to my wife, So she picked up my spirits and ran with me and cheered me on. And I mean, who doesn't love a cheerleader right there, picking up your spirits? So that helped tons. And then I got in, I got some food, but I was really quick because I got in around 4:20, and I needed to be out by 5. So I'm like, the more time I spend in here, I'm that next cutoff is going to be tough for me. Mm-hmm. So 10 minutes in and out, if that, maybe 8 minutes. Usually I eat a Subway sandwich. That's my thing at the halfway point. There's no fucking Subway in Morzine, France. No. So I tried to find something at the grocery store, but I really didn't want to eat it. So I slammed down a banana. I don't think I've ever drank so much Martin and eaten so much Noka in my life. But anyways, I got out, and and I rolled out my quad there at the transition area because I had the stick. So that helped. And man, that flat part, that first 3 miles, I really picked up speed. So I made up that next checkpoint. I turned something that was about 30 minutes, buffer into about an hour. So I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better, And then the next one, I was still about an hour ahead of time. And then I guess I didn't hear that there was one more cutoff. Uh-huh. So at this point, I was like, yeah, chingue, I don't want to risk a cramp or twisting my ankle. I got it. So I'm just going to take my time. I'm not going for time anymore. It's, I wasn't going to win anything, so I just let me play it safe, so I'm going to slow down, take my time, enjoy the race. So then I was my mood got a little bit better, and I was talking to people. And then I get to one of these cutoffs, and I didn't know it was a cutoff. And he goes, you got 10 minutes. And I go, 10 minutes for what? He goes, to pass that line right there. And it was right after, a pretty difficult obstacle. So I was like, shit, I forgot about this one. So I go, well, what's the penalty? And it's down there. I go, okay, well, I better not get a penalty because I didn't know how long the penalty was going to take. So I got it, and I got it done. It was monkey bars that kind of tilted back and forth. And I got it, and that was the last checkpoint. So the last cutoff. So then I just kind of cruised through the rest of the race, enjoyed it. But if you, and I finished the race, you know, I finished in 14 hours and almost 30 minutes, you know, which is, I think, the longest I've ever taken in a race, even longer than my first race, which was in Killington. And when I was a rookie that didn't know anything. So that just goes to show you how hard this was. But part of it was what I tell everybody. And I'll show you a video, and it's a very disappointed me, you know, at the end of the race. I'm very disappointed in myself. Because, you know, I come to expect, you know, certain things for performance wise and this, and I was just, you know, it just took me out. It was some days you have good races and some days you have bad races. On this one, you know, physically, mentally, everything, just, it was a bad day. You know, it was a bad day in a beautiful place and a tough race, you know, and just that culmination, took me back, man. And so I'm disappointed at the end of the race. I'm exhausted and I'm disappointed, and you can see it in my face when I passed the finish line. But then, you know, my wife's there, you know, Sergio's there and Erica's there, and they're cheering me on. And I said, just take me to go get some pizza. So, and you know, it's hard to stay mad when you got your cheerleaders there and stuff. And, but then, you know, Erica and Sergio took off, you know, and me and Gabby went back to our place, and then Gabby goes to sleep, and then I'm there with my thoughts, and I'm like, man, you know, that, let me digest this, you know, and I don't want to, be super negative. I mean, I'm on vacation with my wife. I don't want to be an asshole, you know, but I'm still disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself. And I just started thinking, you know, it's like, this is the stuff that you tell every time you're coaching, you're talking about doing hard shit and mentally preparing yourself, and, you know, the beauty of going to that dark place and beating it, you know? So how can you, like, don't be discouraged, and don't be, you know, you got to take it for the positive. And what did I get out of it is I beat it, you know, I beat the race. I might not have done as well as I wanted to, but I finished the race, which half the people that signed up didn't finish. So I got to be happy about that, you know? I traveled across the Atlantic Ocean the day before the race. I don't want to make excuses, but that's tough. You know, that's tough. And it's a learning experience for me. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should have went maybe a day or two before, you know, and just take it for what it is it's positive when you think about it, because you get tested the way I got tested. And for a while I let it bother me, but then it took me back to the joy of this, that you get taken to a real dark place, and if you could get through it, you know, it just makes you a stronger person on the back end. And that's what I take from this race is I'm stronger now. And now I know how, you know, when you get kicked in the balls, like I got kicked in the balls, that you can fight back, you know, and I didn't quit. It got close there for a while, you know, I don't think I would ever quit, but, you know, for them to pull you off the course, you know, that would have been very shitty. So that's what I took from it, man. It's I always wanted to do it. I think I've done 3 of the hardest races in the world. You know, Killington, Vermont is right there. I don't want to disrespect Killington because and say this one is harder. They're both equally hard. Morzine is the hardest one in Europe, and then I did the hardest one in Canada back in 2016 in Owl's Head. So I take some pride in that I've gotten through 3 of those monsters, and yeah, man. So I got the medal right there.
Let me get it.
And it's a hard-earned medal there. Yeah. So here we go. There's this baby right here. I will cherish this one forever. It taught me a lot about myself, and I highly recommend it. The World Championship is there next year. So Chuy's going next year. That's what he told me.
Ya veremos dónde estamos y en qué estamos parados, pero...
But yeah, man, it's I'm happy I did it. It's definitely off the bucket list, and like I said, you know, the beauty of these ultras is where those little conversations that you have with yourself. You know, I'm not real talkative on the course, so I'm real internal. And you have 14 and a half hours of self-awareness, and you're just talking to yourself and working your way through something. Sometimes you're miserable. Sometimes you're laughing. You're seeing the most beautiful, you know, part of that country. Man, this is a good life, man.
Pero también, talking about the course, like, no podías hablar también mucho con mucha gente.
No, I mean, everybody was speaking French and German, and I mean, there was some Americans there. There was 66 Americans out of the 1,200 people. So didn't have a lot of people that I could talk to. I'm not a big talker on the course anyways, but there was only 66. I mean, I'm sure more people spoke English, but there was that. It was the World Championship. So what usually they put 60, maybe 65 obstacles. There was 77 obstacles on top of 34 and a half miles.
Obstacles diferentes a los que se ven aquí en Estados Unidos.
Very much so. There was super heavy chains, maybe about 100-pound chains, 80 to 100 pounds at least. There was combinations of things like just random sandbag to a chain carry. There was laser guns. You know, I think I have a video of it that maybe Chuy can put there. That was cool as shit. Different types of monkey bars that tilted back and forth. A lot of different obstacles.
Swimming.
Tons of swimming. We got in 2 lakes. There was a waterfall that we got in a couple times. The monkey bars were ridiculous. I mean, if you see the video, it's like one's high, one's low. So just a lot of, and that stuff I love. You know, that's what cheered me up, is because the climbing and the downhills were brutal on my body, but the obstacles kind of took my mind off of it and just got me back into, you know, racing.
Y de eso también, spear throws. How many?
There was 4. There was 4 spear throws. There was 2 on each lap. I did 3 out of 4, which for me is amazing. Usually I'm 50%, so I'll take the 75% on these. For sure.
Good. ¿Y qué es lo que sigue, Pedro? ¿Qué sigue ahora? Ya hiciste la carrera más difícil del mundo.
What's next?
No te veo con muchas ganas de regresar a Francia.
No, not. I mean, if somebody wants to go next year, I might go. You know, I might go. So if you want to go to Morzine, the course is beautiful. But what's next for now? I'll leave that decision for later. We got Killington, man. I mean, Chuy's gonna finish Killington, no matter what. So we got that coming up, and then we got Dallas Ultra with everybody coming in October on October 19th, and then we got
San Antonio.
Well, we got High Rocks on Saturday. We're gonna go bust ass in High Rocks and hopefully get a podium there. And then go to San Antonio and race on Sunday. And I think that's either, I don't know if it's the sprint or the super.
Bueno, el domingo sería el
sprint. Yeah. So, you know, that's the other race, you know, that if you guys don't make Dallas, you know, San Antonio is a quick trip. It's actually not even San Antonio. It's Divine. So it's even closer. You don't even have to get a hotel room. You can leave from here in the morning and go race. So I'm sure we'll get a big group for San Antonio as well.
Sí, también.
So that's that's what we're doing for the rest of the year. And then our DECA events.
Our DECA events, sí, pues básicamente lo que sigue ahorita es, tenemos nuestro evento el 17. Bueno, comienza nuestro programa de Spartan Race este weekend.
Yeah.
July 27, 12 semanas. Y dentro de esas 2 semanas también tenemos lo que será nuestro evento de DECA el 17 de agosto en el Laredo Athletic Complex. Sold out event. Muchísimas gracias a toda la gente que ya se inscribió. Y además también de ahí tenemos un evento más de DECA que va a ser por ahí el 26 de octubre. Lo tenemos así como con marcador en el calendario.
Yeah.
Y ese también estamos por lanzar los detalles. Va a ser algo distinto, también una dinámica. Pero también que vamos a tener, aunque vayan de espectadores, créanme que se la van a pasar bastante bien. Y desde luego, pues tenemos Killington, September. Vamos a Killington, Vermont, y luego vamos a Dallas, y luego tenemos High Rocks, como dices, y la última carrera de Spartan. Y
And then we take a little time off, and then we do it all again
otra
in
vez.
2025.
Y otra vez.
Absolutely, man. And somewhere in there, I turned 50 in a couple of weeks, man. So I got the big birthday coming up.
50.
50. It's coming up. So, I'm in another division.
Totalmente. La Masters Division.
Exactly. The viejito division. But,
Pete, pues muchas felicidades.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's always good to talk about Spartan.
Al pendiente, viéndolo en YouTube, la cobertura. Gaby por ahí también estuvo mandando algunas fotos y eso también vamos a estar aquí compartiéndolo. Digo, a lo mejor ya para este momento del podcast ya puse la mayoría de las imágenes, pero desde luego pues les tendremos más información de todo esto de lo que viene y pues muy emocionado. Siempre es emocionante hablar de Spartan Race y bueno, y sobre todo cuando lo hacemos con ustedes, ¿no?
Absolutely.
Seguramente vamos a compartir más historias de todo esto que viene con este programa de 12 semanas y eventualmente las historias que salgan del día de esa carrera.
Absolutely. Sign up. This is going to be the year for all your ultras. Let's try to make it 30 people. We'll go kill it in Dallas. Everybody finishes. Do hard shit, guys.
Muchas gracias.
See you.
This episode was produced by Bodify Functional Fitness.